Toastmaster since 2007, and he served as, during that time, he served as president and VPE, which are the two hardest jobs. Well, one's real hard, and the other one is just watching that everything goes right. And he has his Advanced Communicator Bronze and CL. His speech will be 6 to 8 minutes, and his title is A Little About Me. A Little About Me. Please welcome Ken Maxfield.
It was a beautiful spring day in beautiful downtown Burbank. It was March 27th, 1956, and that's when I came into the world. Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, welcome. Yes. I have always been a Southern California resident. All my life, I love Southern California. And as part of being a Southern California resident, I got to see movie stars. I was on the Billy Barty show. I went and saw Bob Hope. He was at the airport, Los Angeles airport. We went over there and I saw him walking down one day. In fact, I even slept with John Wayne's daughter. I grew up in Burbank. I started in Burbank, and I lived there until 5 years old. And when I was 7 years old, my brother and I, we went to Disneyland. And when we got back from Disneyland with our parents, the first thing we did was we went out in the backyard and we started digging. We had shovels and we were digging. We were on a mission. We were going to dig a tunnel from Burbank to Disneyland. At 7 years old, my dad's company moved out here to Garden Grove, and we moved to Garden Grove. So instead of being 35 miles away, we were only 2 miles from Disneyland. It was great growing up here. We could sit in our backyard and watch the Disneyland fireworks every day. It was beautiful. Growing up in Southern California, we did a lot of things. We went to the beaches. We went to Disneyland, Knott's Berry Farm. Many of you don't know, when Knott's Berry Farm first opened, you didn't have to have tickets. You could walk around Knott's Berry Farm, and if you chose to go on a ride, you would pay for that ride and go on it. It was great growing up here. So I went to Garden Grove High School and all of these things. So I'm a graduate from here, Garden Grove. Well, close to Garden Grove. Anyway, but at 16 years old, I got my first job. I was a dishwasher at Stanton Community Hospital, and I thought it was great because the neighbor kids were working at Howard Johnson's making $1.65 an hour, and I was making $2.37 an hour. I was bringing in the bucks at 16 years old, let me tell you. I saved up enough money, and I bought a Mustang, a 65 Mustang. It was beautiful. It was a 289 maroon. A Marine had it before I bought it, and he put the mag wheels on it and everything. It was a great car for a 16-year-old, and we had some fun in that thing. We would drive all over the place. In fact, Beach Boulevard used to have a big hump with a railroad track. We were going down there one night, and we hit that hump. Dukes of Hazzard, let me tell you, we were airborne. Maybe just a little bit, but we were airborne over there. We had a great time here growing up in Orange County. The beaches, everything. My friend Scott, I've known him ever since he was born. His mom and my mom worked together. And we would love to go to Disneyland. And we loved to embarrass my brother and his sister. So we were up at Hungry Bear Restaurant, overlooking the River of America at Disneyland. I don't know if you can picture that. And there's the Mark Twain steamboat coming down. It was nighttime, and they had banjo players and a band on the steamboat entertaining the guests. My friend and I, we decided we were going to sing to those people. We started singing a little song called Michael Finnegan, and lo and behold, the captain turned that spotlight on us, and we were stars at Disneyland. It was fantastic. I love Orange County. In 1981, the love of my life and we got married. We've been married for 30 years now. And we have 6 kids and 12 grandkids. Wow. And we have been through a lot together. We've had our share of problems with our kids, and we've had our share of enjoyment with our kids. And we love our grandkids as well. But in 2007, we had a real experience. I was traveling around doing work for my company, and I wasn't feeling well. And I came home, and I said, honey, we've got to go to the doctor. She took me to the emergency room, and I ended up with a staph infection in my backbone. All my relatives, they thought I was going to die. I spent a week in the hospital, and I was on IV antibiotics for 6 weeks after that, and pills for a whole year. But the one person that never gave up on me was my wife. Everybody else was telling her, oh, he's really sick, something bad's going to happen. But she never gave up on me. And because of her and the grace of God, I'm standing here today. So what I'd like to impress on you is you never know what life is going to give you. But what you need to do is you need to grab what God gives you and run with it. And one thing I need to correct, I need to save Miss Wayne's reputation. Back in 1956, mothers and babies stayed in hospitals for 4 or 5 days. Miss Wayne was born in St. Joseph Hospital during that time frame that I was there. So we slept in the nursery together. Mr. Toastmaster.